You're listening to Greater Good Radio Hawaii. Today's guest is Mayor Mufi Hanneman, City and County of Honolulu Mayor. Please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com. So you mentioned Governor Ariyoshi as your mentor. Could you tell us what he taught you about life, about being in politics that was important?
Well, what Governor Ariyoshi taught me, one of the things that he taught me was that public service is a noble profession, A, and B, you need to be very careful how you spend taxpayers' dollars. You know, Governor Ariyoshi was a fiscal conservative. When he left office, he left a huge surplus. And those two traits served me very well in terms of the things that I've wanted to do in life, in my business career, in my private sector career, in my nonprofit career. He was an excellent role model for me in terms of someone who was quiet but effective, someone who wasn't out to get the headlines, someone who just wanted to get the job done. And I really admired him for giving me an opportunity to work in government. And I remember as a Democrat, he had no problems of me applying for a White House fellowship in the Reagan administration, a Republican administration. He, as far as he was concerned, it's not about Democrats, not about Republicans. It's about opportunities for someone from Hawaii to work in the nation's capital.
So before elected as mayor, I heard that you were doing a radio show.
Yes. One of the things that I did while on the city council, and then it followed me after I left the council, was I did a radio program. And that, of course, brought me into a lot of contact with Jeff Coelho, who at that time was the general manager of Kumu and a number of other stations. And I really marveled at how Jeff was able to compete with the other stable of family stations in town, getting a lot of mileage out of his radio stations. And one of the reasons why I discovered is that he was a creative person. And so he came up with this idea with me to do a morning show that we did on Saturday mornings that would allow me to do two things: not only talk about the issues of the day, interview people like you're doing on your show, but I got to play music because I love music. So we would intersperse our interviews with music. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience because, as you know, on radio, you have to think on your feet. You have to make your show interesting and informative enough so that the listeners will want to call the general manager up. Hey, Jeff, we think Mufi's doing a good job. Keep that show going, and we want to hear more of it. So I got to meet a lot of people as a result. I got to promote other folks, not just what I was trying to do, but I brought in people from the community, and it was a wonderful, wonderful experience that I'll never forget, and a lot of that I owe to Jeff Coelho.
So you ever think about going back into radio maybe after your government career?
Funny you should ask that. Well, I love radio. I think it's a terrific opportunity to dialogue with people, and in my administration, Evan, we place a lot of emphasis on communication. That's why I asked Jeff Coelho to join me at City Hall, because I really believe that oftentimes things go astray because people don't understand, or lawmakers don't make it a point to really convey their true sentiments or get the facts out. So radio is a wonderful medium in doing that. So is television, and I can see myself always being involved in some form of the media or exposure in that context.
So if you weren't mayor today and you had the opportunity to do your own radio show, what kind of show would you be doing?
I think I'd do exactly what I did with Jeff, where we came up with a format where we do a little bit of talk, a little bit of patter, and a lot of music. And also, I think we'd make it very engaging, very informative, and taking advantage of not only local celebrities, but people who come through Honolulu. And I would find that very interesting. But I'm not ready to do that because I love being mayor, which is why we go on a lot of radio shows, Jeff can tell you.
So we heard that you do an incredible Dick Clark. Can you do an impersonation for us and introduce Greater Good Radio for us?
I don't know who said Dick Clark, but I like to listen to people. I have a good ear for music. I love singing, and one of the things that I've enjoyed through the years is an impersonation or two. So maybe a little bit down the show, later in the show, I'll do one. I'll do an impersonation for you.
Thank you, Mayor Mufi Hanneman.